When does a deal actually become a deal? Is it when you say yes, when you sign on the dotted line, or is it when the other person actually hears the good news? It's a great question. And today we're going to dig into a huge piece of contract law that all started because of a really simple everyday problem, a letter that got lost in the mail. Believe it or not, that one lost letter ended up changing the rules of business forever.
Okay, let's make this real for a second. Imagine you get an offer for your absolute dream job. You print out the contract, you sign it, boom! You pop it in an envelope and you drop it in the mail. You're already celebrating, right? But what if that letter just disappears? Like, it never arrives. Is the job still yours, or is the deal off? Well, that exact problem is what we're talking about. Just, swap dream job for company shares and a printer for an old school inkwell, and you've got the case that created a wild legal rule we still use today. So to get to the bottom of this, we've got to jump in a time machine and head back to Victorian England. And trust me, this isn't some dry, dusty legal case. Oh no, this is a story about ambition, risk, and one single, solitary letter that just went missing. So let's meet our main character, a guy named Mr. Grant. All right, so here are the players. On one side, you've got Mr. Grant. He sees a chance to invest and wants in. And on the other side, you have the household fire insurance company. And they're looking for investors, people exactly like Mr. Grant. Seems pretty straightforward, right? An applicant wants to buy, a company wants to sell. I mean, what could possibly go wrong?
Okay, so the timeline here is absolutely key. In October, Mr. Grant sends in his application. A month goes by. Then, in November, the company is like, great, we accept. They write up a letter saying the shares are his and they stick it in the post. But, and this is the million-dollar twist, that letter disappears. It vanishes. It never, ever makes it to Mr. Grant's mailbox.
So now we've got a real mess on our hands. The company thinks Mr. Grant is a shareholder, which means he owes them money. But Mr. Grant? He's completely in the dark. He has no clue any of this has happened. And this leads to this huge legal question the courts had to figure out. When exactly did the deal become a real binding deal?
The arguments from both sides were pretty simple, but they were polar opposites. Mr. Grant's side is probably what you and I would argue, right? Hey, no letter, no deal. How can I be in a contract I don't even know exists? His point was that acceptance only counts when you actually get it. But the company? They saw it totally differently. Their argument was, nope, the second we put that letter in the mailbox, our job was done. The deal was sealed right then and there. So let's pause for a second. Who do you think is right here? Is it the guy who never even got the news, or is it the company that, did what they were supposed to do and mailed the letter? It's a tough one, isn't it? A real head-scratcher.
Okay, so after hearing from both sides, the court comes back with a decision. And this was a big one. This wasn't just about Mr. Grant's shares. Not at all. This was about setting a clear, solid rule for everyone who does business from a distance. And with that verdict, a brand new, famous legal principle was born.
So who won? The court sided with the company. The judgment was crystal clear. Lord Justice Thesiger basically said, the contract is made as soon as the letter of acceptance is put into the post. Just let that sink in for a second. The deal was done the moment the letter was mailed, even if it never arrived. Mr. Grant was officially a shareholder and officially in debt, and he didn't even know it. Wow. And this famous decision became known as the Postal Rule of Acceptance. And what it does is it creates a super clear, fixed point in time for when a contract officially starts. It's not when you write the letter, it's not when it gets delivered, it's that exact moment it goes into the mailbox and is out of your hands. But why? I mean, it sounds kind of harsh for poor Mr. Grant, doesn't it? Well, the court had its reasons, and there were three big ones. First, they said the post office acts like an agent, like a middleman for both people. Second, they figured that since Mr. Grant made an offer that could be accepted by mail, he was also accepting the risks that come with it, like a letter getting lost. And third, and this is the big one, business just needs certainty. You need a clear, reliable point when a deal is a deal, and this rule provides that. So, there you have it. That's how a court way back in Victorian England solved a very 19th century problem. But the story is far from over. Now let's talk about the legacy of this thing and see how a rule made for snail mail works, or doesn't work, in our world of instant everything. I mean, there's a reason this 150-year-old case is still taught to every first-year law student. It's the foundation of contract law in so many countries because it gives businesses that certainty we were talking about. It's also a massive lesson for all of us. If you're making a deal and you don't want this rule to apply, you have to spell it out. You have to say that acceptance only counts when you actually receive it. And of course, it tees up the biggest question of all for us today. What happens when you apply a rule made for paper and stamps to things like email and text messages?
And that's really the final thought I want to leave you with. In a world where you can send a message across the globe in less than a second, does a rule that was designed for the slow, unreliable journey of a letter still make any sense? The debate is definitely still raging, but it's wild to think it all started with one man, Mr. Grant, and a single deal that got lost in the mail.